Hey guys, welcome back to another OBD mastery video. Now in this video we're going to be talking about the P0002 code that you're currently having. Now what this code actually means is it means that your fuel volume regulator control circuit range and performance. This is triggered when the PCM detects an issue with your fuel volume regulator of its associated circuit. So this code is crucial and it indicates potential problems to your fuel delivery. So if you notice a consumption of possibly fuel, let's say you went to the gas station and your car is just going empty very quickly, this could be a culprit to your fuel volume regulator, so get that checked out. But moving on here, the common causes of this code are a faulty fuel volume regulator. So just a fuel volume regulator just may malfunction, cause incorrect fuel pressure, and triggering this code. Now, next up is the wiring harness issue. Now, damaged wires, loose connections, or corroded connectors in the wiring harness can disrupt the fuel volume regulator circuit. Next up here is the fuel pump problem. Now, a malfunctioning fuel pump can lead to insufficient fuel pressure, affecting the fuel delivery system and setting off this code. Next up, malfunctioning fuel pressure sensor. Now, if the fuel pressure sensor is faulty or provides incorrect readings, it can lead to improper fuel regulation and trigger the P0002 code. Next up are the symptoms of this code. This obvious one is just going to be the CEL light, the check engine light illumination on your cluster. So just get an OBD2 scanner and you could go ahead and check that, see if there are any other codes lingering around. But that's an obvious one when it appears on your dashboard. The other one is going to be your poor fuel economy. So if you notice a gas guzzle in your car, very visually, you could just see it happening in real time. That could be another culprit to this code. So your fuel efficiency will drop and you'll just have to, frequently load up more fuel into your car. Next up is going to be rough idling. Now this is going to be just, rough idling. You're obviously going to have vibrations. You may even go into limp mode at some points, but if you notice any of that, that could be a symptom of this code. Reduce engine performance as well. You'll have an overall decrease in your engine's performance. Let's say you were to blimp the accelerator. When you blimp it, you're not going to get that power that you did have before. You're going to get reduced power. So blimping the acceleration pedal, it's not going to be what it used to be. Now, additional causes and culprits. Now, let's go through this list really quickly. Now, fuel pump relay, all right? Those usually go out, all right? You don't necessarily have to do a bunch of maintenance or work on it. It just could be this little relay. So your relay will be over there, maybe in your engine bay or inside your car. But basically, you're going to want to pull out the relay, all right? Make sure that you have a fuel pump relay. On the fuse box, there's usually a diagram right there that tells you which is which. So pull out that relay, all right? The right fuel pump relay. Once you pull it out, shake it, all right? If there's play in between that relay is bad, all right? So consider replacing that. That could fix your issue, all right? It's not guaranteed, but most of the times that could be the culprit of this problem. Now, next is bad ground connection. So, electrical issues in the fuel volume regulator causing performance inconsistency. So, if you have pigtails or any of those like weird wire, kind of, aluminum things, kind of like, pigtail from another end to another end, those could be a culprit as well. All right. Some of those may be cheap aluminum, so it doesn't make a good contact on the actual distribution of electrical or current voltage going through the harness and all of that. So get that checked. All right. Number 3 is worn out fuel tank pressure sensor. This is just a malfunctioning fuel tank pressure sensor. All right. It'll affect and bring this code up as well. ECU, ECM software issues. So this is pretty rare, but you could get a glitched out ECU and just outdated software. Usually, most of the times, it doesn't occur unless you're in newer vehicles, but that could be a culprit. Now, aftermarket modifications. So if you have like any, special fuel pumps or all of that, that could be a possible culprit. All right, if you just change to maybe an aftermarket when it doesn't identify it, it could throw off a code for you. Environmental factors, this is just going to be, extreme temperatures and moisture. So if it's really cold, this could affect your fuel volume regulator. All right, if cold temperatures, moisture builds up and creates water in the fuel tank. So be aware of that as well. Next up is the troubleshooting of this code. So you're just going to want to retrieve trouble codes using a OBD2 scanner. You can find one at your local mechanic store. You could rent one. You put a deposit down. You then take it, diagnose your vehicle, check the codes that it has, and then you go back, get your deposit back at these mechanic stores. But that is a very good way of diagnosing this issue and troubleshooting it. And a visual inspection, all right? If you're mechanic savvy, you can kind of just look at it, inspect the wiring harness, see if any connectors are in line with each other, and basically just check any corroded connectors. You could even like get a little wire brush and kind of, depends where it's at, but you could kind of, score them and, clean them up and stuff. Next up is the checking fuel pressure. So there's fuel pressure testing tools that you can get, but you're going to want to measure the fuel pressure at the fuel rail. Now make sure that is up to specification as advised by the original manufacturer specifications, but check that out. All right, there's tools that you can get as well at auto parts store that you can rent out to test this. Next up is testing the fuel volume regulator. Now, you're going to want to use a multimeter to test the fuel volume regulator for proper operation. So check the voltage and resistance according to a specification. Replace it if it is faulty. So that's pretty much it for today's video. That's how you diagnose and causes symptoms of a P0002 code. Now, if you found this video helpful, consider leaving a comment down below that it did. Any other issues that you're currently having with your vehicle, don't forget to check out our category here on the OBD Mastery YouTube channel, where we share in depth what a specific code is and how you can diagnose and the causes and symptoms. So with that said, thank you guys for watching today's video, and we'll see you all for another OBD Mastery